Hello, this is Andrew from Sailing Cheryl, and since we're not sailing today, I thought we'd do an instructional video on how to change the wind sensors on a Brookes and Gatehouse 213 masthead unit. Why would you want to do this, I hear you say? Well, it could be because somebody has managed to turn the plugs off the instrument that you used to have. So you have to start by removing the sensors. Now, first of all, you've got a wind sensor, wind speed sensor, and then you've got a wind direction sensor there. And they're both held on by a little nut. So the most that you'll need in terms of equipment today could be a small spanner, but these nuts we may be able to free up just with our fingers. Okay, so there's the first nut there on the speed sensor, and the little cup arrangement comes off quite easily. After that, we've got the bearing housing, and that just unscrews from the bottom of the masthead unit. So there we have it. Over to the wind angle sensor. This nut is a little bit tighter, so we'll just get our spanner. Free up the nut a little bit. And this vane just pops off. And underneath the vane, you end up with a little nut. Now that nut is usually fairly freely sitting there, so we can now undo that nut with our fingers. That allows this little housing to come off, revealing the bearings for the wind vane. They should be turning quite freely, which they are. And to remove those, just grab them at the base here and turn anti-clockwise, and that will come off to reveal the PCB. Now, the PCB is the most delicate part of the wind instrument, and to remove it, we must slide it up . And when you get it half slid up, you will see the connections of the wires that go onto the PCB. So you then just remove those wires by carefully sliding the connection off the PCB. There we go. And always make note that the orange wire is to your left as you're looking forward on the masthead unit. So then the PCB can slide out completely. There it is. These things are made of gold. and they do have a tendency to fail during lightning storms, etc. So we'll just show you all the parts laid out. These are all the parts. We have the PCB, the wind vane, bearing parts, bearings, that's the housing, and over here the cup arrangement. So now we can reverse that procedure and put these all back on the new wand. Okay, well, here's our new wand. And you can see that it's got a good plug, which will go into the mast head plug, and hopefully everything will work quite well once we go through that procedure. So, first of all, the PCB. Now, these little wires go to the back, and the PCB slides into a couple of slots in this housing that hold it at 180 degrees to the direction of the masthead unit. Now, once we've got it half in, we connect up the wires. Once you've got that connection done, slide the PCB in the rest of the way, with the wires following. You've got to tuck these little wires into the housing. Okay, so they're all tucked in. And the next thing is we want the bearing unit to go on top. It just screws in. Just got to make sure the bearing unit's running. So you've got to hand tighten this, but make sure that the bearing unit is still running. Next, we've got a little housing that goes over the top. Yeah, it's got a little washer. That goes over that spindle. And there's a little nut that goes on top there and holds that housing down. Now, it's a little bit wobbly there at the moment, so we'll need a little bit more tension on that nut. It's bound up a little bit there, so something's not quite right. It's spinning quite nicely. That's spinning and it's not wobbling now. Can you see that? Okay, so the next thing to go on is the wind vane. Now there's a little slot. You can see the little slot there. And there's a piece of plastic on the wind vane that just drops into that slot. And then we put the nut on top. We might just give that a little nip up. Be very careful not to strip the threads. And that seems to be working quite well. We'll just test it out. Yep, that's working well. And you've got to make sure that the wind vane is actually balanced. And you can see that it's quite balanced there. If we turn it a little bit, it doesn't move. Turn it here, it doesn't move. If it does, you have to use this little weight over here to balance the wind vane. Okay, now we've got the speed sensor to install. And it just screws on the bottom of your masthead unit. And it's spinning quite happily. Once again, there's a little slot. A little piece of plastic that fits in that slot. And the nut holds the little wind cups on. You don't need it real tight. We'll just test that. It seems to be working very well. So that's all for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and we'd like you to subscribe to our channel if you feel that we're doing things that you can enjoy. See you in the next video. Bye for now.